Hello, my name is Becca, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then welcome as well. I have my November TBR for you today and I can't believe that it's already time for my November TBR. This is my, I think, 4th TBR on BookTube already. Where has the time gone? I'm excited to talk about what I want to read in November because I have a couple of series to wrap up. I'm going to be taking part in a readathon, I think, like so far I am, and I'm also reading a few random things that I want to share with you. So first up, let's talk about the series that I'm wrapping up. The first one is going to be the Hush Hush series, so I'll be reading Finale by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is a series about fallen angels and Nephilim and things like that, and we have a main character called Nora who is not necessarily part of but sucked into this world because she's falling for a fallen angel called Patch. If you saw my, I think, September wrap up, you'll know that I wasn't really impressed with the third book in this series, but I did enjoy the first two as a guilty pleasure read. It's just some supernatural fluff kind of thing. I'm hoping that the fourth book will redeem the series because the third book was actually terrible. The next series I'll be wrapping up is the Alice series by Christina Henry. This is the second book, Red Queen. It's only a duology. I read the first book in the series in October for the Spooky Shelfie Readathon, and I didn't really love it as much as I thought I would, but I do have the second book, so I will finish it. It's only a duology, it's not going to be take too much of my time. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling that sort of takes place in this dystopian city. You have the new city where all the posh people live and the old city, and Alice was sort of tricked when she was younger to go to the tea party, and she was drugged and raped. This is an adult horror, like it's not for younger readers, I wouldn't recommend it. And then she gets put into a mental hospital and she escapes with Hatcher, who is the Mad Hatter, and they go on an adventure to stop the Jabberwock. I believe in the second book they're going looking for Hatcher's daughter. That's all I really know about this. I don't expect to love it, I just think it'll be alright. The next series, I'm not wrapping it up, I'm only reading the second book because that's all that's out, and that will be God's Grave by J. Kristoff. I don't have a physical copy. Well, I do have a physical copy, but my boyfriend bought me the Waterstones exclusive hardback for our anniversary, which is only on the 22nd of November. So I went into Waterstones and picked a lot of books and he paid for them, and that was one of them. So I can't read it until the end of November, so I may not even finish it, but I definitely will be starting it as soon as I get my hands on it because I've read Nevernight this month and it was so good, and I just can't wait to read God's Grave. For those of you who haven't read Nevernight, it is about a young girl called Mia Corvier whose father is hung for treason and whose mother is locked up in this prison asylum thing. She was supposed to be killed as well, but she escapes, and then she's raised sort of by a mentor and she goes to a school for assassins. Nevernight is very much Hogwarts under the Death Eater's control meets first book Throne of Glass, and I absolutely loved it. If you do decide to read this, please bear in mind that the first 100 pages are quite difficult to get through, but after that you will absolutely fly through it and you will absolutely love it. It's so good. The readathon I'm going to be taking part in is Contemporary-a-thon, which is hosted by Julie from Pages and Pens and also Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. I'm not a huge contemporary fan, but I am going to get into the spirit. I do have a few and it'll be a good excuse to read contemporaries because I don't really reach for them, to be honest. I'm more of a hardcore fantasy fan. I'll be posting a separate TBR for that. Now, with the 3 books I just mentioned and the books that I'll be reading for Contemporary-a-thon, if I have time I have some more things I'd like to read. It is coming up to Christmas, so my October book haul will be the last book haul where I've actually bought books. I'm not buying anymore because I have this rule where we're not allowed to buy ourselves anything until after Christmas, so that helps to keep presents as a surprise, and people do buy me a lot of books. As of this month, my shelves are now full again. I did an unhaul not long ago and cleared some space, but they are now full apart from this one over here, but that's sort of my emergency shelf. I don't really want to start filling it until I have to. I've just got my Throne of Glass and my Court of Thorns and Roses on it, and then just some knickknacks and bits. So I'm going to start reading books on my shelves that I don't want to read. Now, you may be asking, why do you have books on your shelves that you don't want to read? When I first started collecting books, I collected movie adaptations, so I had all of Nicholas Sparks' books and things like that, because at college I did film studies and that was something I was interested in. I loved books and I loved films, so I combined sort of the two. I always read before then, but I did go to the library, so this was what started the bulk of my book collection. Now, I don't really care. I don't watch films as much. I watch more TV than films. Honestly, some of the books that I've got, I was never interested in the films, so I don't know why I thought I'd want to read the books. As well as that, at the secondhand shops around here, all of the books are super cheap. They're like 3 for £1. So sometimes I'd get 2 books for like 40p each, and then I'd get an extra book just because it was only 20p. I'd end up with books that I was only sort of interested in. Not all of these books are books that I don't want to read. They're just books that I haven't heard a lot about, so I don't know if they're good. Some of them might turn out to be my favourites. I don't know. This is like a huge gamble. I could love them, I could hate them. But the main idea is that I will finally read them, because even though I don't want to, I want to read them to see if I do like them, because like I said, a lot of them I've heard nothing about, so I have no idea. And then when I've read them, I can ship them off back to where they came from. So after that ridiculously long ramble that probably should have gone at the beginning of this video, let's just get into the books that I want to read. The first one is Nerve by Gian Ryan, and as you can see, because it still has the sticker on, it only cost me 50p. A lot of these books were ridiculously cheap. I got this because of the film that just came out. Like I said, I'm still a sucker for a film adaptation. I do actually kind of want to read this. It's just there's loads that I would much rather read, and I have no idea if I'll like it. It is about a world where there's this interactive sort of virtual reality game, I think, this girl wants to play, and you can either just like watch it on the internet or you can take part. She chooses to take part, and I think it's a list of sort of dares. So you get dared to do something, and the more dares you complete, that you win. And as she gets more into it, the dares are much more sinister, and she wants to pull out and wishes she'd never started to play in the first place. So this is the first book I'm going to be reading that I'm not too excited about, and I'll see what I think. This is probably one that I'm most excited about. Next, I have The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. I've seen this a little bit on Goodreads, a lot of people reading it, but I know nothing about it. It's a thriller, and I'm not a thriller reader. The only thriller I've ever read is Fight Club, and I just finished that this morning. Yeah, I'm not a huge thriller person, which is why I assume that I won't like it. I'm essentially just reading it for the hype, which I need to stop doing. I'll try it. I might like thrillers, who knows. This is about a girl who I believe she's an adult now, but she went to boarding school and something happened there, and somebody's asking her about it to find out what really happened, because I'm guessing the stories didn't match up, or it's a big mystery and nobody really knew what happened there. That's all I really know. I have heard about thrillers that it's better to know less going into them, because then you're more surprised, because sometimes the blurb contains spoilers. So that's all I know, and I'm kind of intrigued, so we'll give it a go. Next, I have a supernatural book. I've tried to pick different genres for these to sort of mix it up a little bit, and the supernatural book that I have is The Betrayal of Natalie Hargrove. In all honesty, I'm not sure that it is supernatural, because on the blurb it doesn't mention anything supernatural, but it is by Lauren Kate, who wrote the Fallen series, so I would assume that it was, especially since it's got the black and silver covers that match the Fallen series. This is just like a really short standalone by her. I've heard absolutely nothing about this, probably because the hype over Lauren Kate ended years ago. I do still have the Fallen series on my shelves over here. I don't know if you can see them, but I really didn't like them, and I'd like to get rid of them. The only reason that I've kept them is because I bought them in like a matching set, but I'm past the point of caring now, so they might go. But I want to read this. I don't expect to like it because I didn't like Fallen, which I assume was much more popular. It's about this really popular girl who wants to be prom queen, and she's just super popular. I guess she has like an attractive boyfriend and is maybe a cheerleader, and then I think she does something and there's some scandal. Yeah, like I have literally no idea. And the last book I want to read this month is The Hours by Michael Cunningham. This is a movie adaptation. Like I said, I used to love them, and this has been on my shelf for years. I don't really know what this is about, but on the blurb it mentions Virginia Woolf, and I think it's set in 1920s London, and it's about an author, Virginia Woolf, as I just said, trying to write a book. I assume it's got a little bit of middle-aged women bickering in it, but I don't even know what genre it is. I'm just guessing it's like an adult contemporary. Well, not contemporary because it's set in the 1920s, but something like that. I'm kind of more excited to read this because I don't know what it's about, but yeah. I'm reading The Hours. Okay, so that is everything for my November TBR. If you have read any of those last 4 books that I mentioned, then please let me know anything you know about them down below, especially if you enjoyed them or not, and whether I should expect to enjoy them. I'm really taking a risk here with them, but this month is going to be about wrapping up any series I have left open and clearing my shelves. Then December will hopefully just be about clearing my shelves so that at Christmas I can fill them again, because right now I have very, very little space and a lot of books that I don't really want on my shelves. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then please like it and also subscribe if you like my face. But that's all from me today. Bye!